Hello, Year 9. In today's session, we will discuss two important processes of homeostasis. The first is glucoregulation, and the second is thermoregulation. So let's start with the first process, which is glucoregulation. What is the meaning of this process? Actually, this is the process of regulation, the blood glucose level inside your body and inside your blood. So, glucoregulation, it is the regulation of blood glucose level. And this process is controlled by the pancreas. So, this process is controlled by the pancreas. How? It depends only on two important hormones. The first hormone is called insulin. What does the insulin do? When the insulin is released, the blood glucose level are reduces. How? Because the insulin stimulate the glucose when you found a high glucose level inside your blood, the insulin convert this glucose into glycogen, and the glycogen is stored in the liver. So again, the insulin stimulate the reduction of glucose. The insulin reduces the glucose when you eat a lot and there is excess carbohydrates and excess glucose inside your blood. This is not healthy for your body. So the excess amount of glucose are converted into glycogen by the insulin. The other hormone, which is responsible also for the controlling of glucose level, this hormone is called glucagon. So the second hormone is called glucagon, and actually its function is opposes the insulin function. The insulin reduce the blood glucose, right? By converting the excess glucose into glycogen. On the other hand, the glucagon, when your body need glucose, the glucagon hormone converts the stored glycogen into glucose. So again, the glucagon converts stored glycogen into glucose. Okay, and when the glucose is released in your body or in your blood will use the glucose in respiration process to produce energy from it. So this happened by which organ? Which organ is the controller? Which organ is monitoring the blood glucose level inside your body? This organ is the pancreas. Okay? So the glucoregulation mainly depends on the secretion of hormones from pancreas. When the pancreas monitors that glucose levels are high, what happens? It secretes insulin. Great. And when the pancreas monitors that or is monitoring that the blood glucose level are too low, what happened here? Yeah, it secretes the glucagon hormone, and this glucagon hormone converts the stored glycogen into glucose. And here we can see this negative feedback of homeostasis. This is the pancreas, okay? In the middle of the loop, we see. Here you can see the low blood glucose. When it is low, the pancreas secrete glucagon hormone. So the glucagon released by alpha cells of pancreas and converts the stored glycogen in the liver into glucose and returns to a normal blood glucose level. When the high blood glucose level here is present in the blood, the pancreas secretes insulin, and the insulin, are secreted by beta cells of the pancreas and converts the glucose into what? Into glycogen. Okay? Great. So when the control of the blood glucose does not work properly and any error or any mistake happen in the regulation of the blood glucose, this leads to a disease. And you know the name of this disease. Yeah, it's diabetes. We have three types, or actually you have many types of diabetes. But here we will study only the first type of diabetes. We call it diabetes type 1. What happened in the diabetes type 1? Here, the cells which secrete insulin inside the pancreas are actually not working properly. Maybe they caused by the death of the cells. The cells which secretes the insulin inside the pancreas is not working well. How? By the death of these cells, and also we can say that maybe a genetic mistake happened in the development of the pancreas. Okay, what are the symptoms of diabetes type 1? We have many symptoms. The first one is sudden weight loss, because your body is not get any benefit from the glucose which enter from it. Cannot use the glucose from the blood. So you will feel a sudden weight loss. Also, you will need to eat, so you will feel extreme hunger, and you eat and eat and eat, and your body does not use the glucose, cannot able to let the glucose enter the cells and let the cell get its benefit from it. Also, you will feel excess thirst, and you will urinate a lot, actually, or during the night, more during the night. You will feel blurred vision, you will feel a tiredness and a lack of energy. So the symptoms we can read from here: hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia. What is the meaning of hyperglycemia? When you eat a lot sugar and there is a lot of glucose inside your blood level, okay, we call a lot of glucose inside your blood, we call it hyperglycemia. Okay, you will feel unwell, your mouth will be dry, blurred vision, and feel very thirsty. On the other hand, hypoglycemia, what the meaning of hypoglycemia? Hypoglycemia means that the glucose levels here is very low, so you will feel tired, show confusion and irritational behavior. What is the treatment here? To know the treatment, we have to focus on the problem. The problem in what? In the secretion of insulin, right? So the main treatment here is injection of insulin. Injection of what? Injection of insulin to reduce blood glucose concentration inside your blood. And of course, you have to eat little and avoid large amount of carbohydrates. This was the glucoregulation. The second process that we will study is called thermoregulation. Thermoregulation here is the process of regulation your body temperature. How? I will tell you many processes that happen inside your body to control the temperature. How? In a cold days, there is a property called insulation. Insulation. What is insulation? It is provided, or it is a property by which your body is provided by fatty tissue that keeps the heat inside your body and not let the heat to escape from it. So insulation means what? Means that the fatty tissue will keep the heat inside your body, and you can notice this property in the animals that live in the cold areas like Antarctica. The animals there are characterized by an insulation property. What is insulation property? The fatty tissue inside their skin keeps the heat inside their body. Okay, and also something another happens. What is this? When you feel cold, or when you are present in a cold weather, you feel shivering. What is shivering? Like this guy here is shiver from the cold. How? So his hair become erect. What is this word erect? Means become straight like this. Okay, and the hairs here, or the hair, become what? Become erect. To trap warm air by contracting erector. What is the erector? It is the muscle. Do you see this muscle? We call it erector muscle. So this muscle contract. This muscle what? Contract. When this muscle contract, the hair become erect. Okay? So this happen in the cold. And vice versa, the opposite thing happen in the hot weather. Okay. Another property here is called vasodilation. What is the vasodilation? Here you can see the two opposite, yes, properties: vasodilation and vasoconstriction. What is the difference between them? The vasodilation, here you can notice that the arterioles and the blood capillaries inside your body become wider. Become what? Wider. This is why. This is to allow more blood near to the skin surface, to increase the heat loss. To increase heat loss. And your face become redder and become red color, in red color. This happens in the hot days. Okay. On the other hand, in a cold day, the property here is called vasoconstriction. What is the vasoconstriction? When it is cold, the arterioles and your blood capillaries, or the blood supply, are these blood capillaries become smaller. Can you see here this smaller circle? It is narrow, and this is in the vasodilation. It is not narrow, it is a wide one. Why in the vasoconstriction the blood capillary become smaller? This is to allow less blood near to the skin surface, to decrease the heat loss. So here I want less amount of blood near the skin. Why I need less amount of the blood? Because I feel cold. I need the blood and the heat to trap inside my body and not to lose it. On the other hand, in the vasodilation, what happened here? No, here I need to lose the heat, so the blood capillary become wider, and when it become wider, what happened? Yeah, it increased the heat loss, and your face become redder. Another property here is sweating, and of course this happens in the hot days. Do you see this guy here? He is sweating. The water evaporates, giving a cooling effect. Another property, skin receptors. What the skin receptors do? Sense heat, and sensory neurons send impulses to hypothalamus. This is an important part. Okay, why? How do I feel cold? How do I feel hot? What makes me feel the coolness or the hotness? The skin receptors. The skin receptors in your skin feel the change in the temperature, and the sensory neurons send the signal to a controller in your brain is called hypothalamus. So the control center of the heat regulation or of the thermoregulation is called what? Hypothalamus. Do you see here this part? Thermoregulatory center. It points to the hypothalamus inside your brain. Okay, so shivering here, muscular activity generates heat. When you shiver, okay, this guy is shivering, okay, so he generates heat to make his body feel more warm or warmer. Thermoregulatory center in the hypothalamus, okay, I have said this. It controls the use of corrective mechanism, sweating and shivering. Okay, so the hypothalamus controlled all the properties that we discussed. Controlled sweating, controlled shivering, controlled vasodilation and vasoconstriction. Okay, here we can notice the negative feedback of the thermoregulation. Here is an external factor. The hypothalamus here is first the neurons and the sensory neurons send the impulse, okay, by this arrow send the impulse into the what? Into the brain. Which part in the brain? In the hypothalamus. Okay. So here the external factor makes your body do vasodilation. Why vasodilation? Because the weather is hot. So the hypothalamus will produce an order to your blood capillaries or to your arteries, to your blood vessels, to be in a process of vasodilation, or maybe in the same time, okay, sweating. You will do a sweating. So your body will cool and the temperature will be what? Yeah, decreased. On the other hand, if there is a cold temperature, do you see this blue? Okay, but I use the red color. Okay, the external factor here is a very low temperature, and the neurons send a impulse to what? To the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus send an order to your body to do a vasoconstriction and to shiver. So your body temperature will be, increase, and you will feel here warm. So in a cold day, you will feel warm by doing vasoconstriction and by shivering. And on the hot day, this is the hot day, your body will do vasodilation and sweating, so you will feel more cool. Okay? This is simply the thermoregulation. It is very, very easy. You have to remember, you have to remember this. Where? Yeah. Okay. The core temperature in your blood when the temperature is decreased, the hypothalamus heat conversion centers, okay, when the temperature here is decreased. Means what? Means, for example, that the temperature here is 10 degree. So your body will do vasoconstriction, will shiver, the hair will be erect or raised, the increase of metabolic rate, your body will burn more food to get energy and heat. This happened when the temperature decreased. When the temperature increased, maybe let it be 45. Yeah, this is so hot weather. Okay, so your body will use heat loss centers. What is the heat loss centers? Vasodilation, sweating, and the hair is lowered and decrease in metabolic rate. Okay, here is an important question. Here you can see a TS or a section of hair. The question is label and name 3 structures that help to maintain body temperature. Can you tell me 3 structures here in the skin that help you maintain your body temperature? If you don't know, just look at this section of the skin. It may help you. Yeah, of course, the sweat gland. This is the sweat gland. Do you see this part? This is sweat gland. Okay, what else? Yeah, great. It is a fat cells here. Okay. This is 2. Where is the third one? Yeah, this muscle, which is the hair erector muscle, and the hair, of course. Okay. The last question, or no, not a question, but it is a very important note that in the weather is too cold, do you see that the hair here is erect, and in the hot, the hair here is not erect. Okay, it is not erect. Okay, let's compare. When in the too cold weather, what happened else? Yeah, there is no sweat here, no sweating. On the other hand, in the hot day, you can notice the sweat here above the sweat gland. Okay, can you tell me a third difference? This difference is very important. What is it? Yeah, here in the too cold weather, you can see the blood capillaries here, or the blood vessels, are narrow. So we call this property vasoconstriction. On the other hand, here, I can notice that the blood vessel is wider, and we call this property dilation. Great. Your homework now, or your assignment, is to discuss the sweating and the vasodilation, okay, and to answer the classified questions. And you can leave me a comment if you have any question. See you next video, and thank you for listening.